Can you kind of walk us through the process? I think you flirted with the NFL draft, enter the portal, end up here, and how that all worked out.
Sure, yeah. So at this point last year when I was at Holy Cross, I definitely thought this was my last year of college football. So as the year kind of went along, I gathered myself and I thought that, hey, maybe I'd like to showcase a little garden center somewhere on the interior that would make my name more, a little more better appeal, I guess I would say, for NFL teams, given I just played left tackle for all four. I thought that coming to Michigan State would certainly challenge me, push me to learn a new offense, learn a new position, and really just get acquainted with a whole ton of great guys. And I can certainly say that it's been great so far. We're making good progress, and just going to keep it going.
Did you grow up a Michigan State fan? Did you go to camps here, any of that stuff? Just your background being an in-state guy, obviously.
Yes, both my parents were alums here. Came to a lot of games growing up. Went to some camps around here in the Midwest. Unfortunately, I didn't quite have the size coming out of high school. I was, undersized, 250-ish, 6'3", and then took a chance out east at in the FCS at Holy Cross, and got here in a very unconventional way, but got here nonetheless, and I'm very happy to be here.
What does that mean to you then, to be wearing this stuff with everything you just mentioned? Yeah.
Everything. I mean, this is such a storied program. I mean, I grew up knowing some of the big names that came through here. Kirk Cousins, Connor Cook, Jack Conklin, all these great names that have had the honor of wearing the green and white. I'm happy to follow in those steps as well, and hold myself to the standard that they set here many years ago.
Did you know any of the guys on the roster when you were coming over here from growing up?
No. Everyone here was very new, and had to learn names pretty quickly. 100 and some names, and making good progress with that as well. I think I've learned everyone's name here. From the coaches, support staff, players. It's not always easy being the new guy, right? But everyone's been super welcoming on day one, and making this place feel like home.
You mentioned kind of like wanting to boost your appeal or maybe even NFL draft stock over here, but you walked into a unique situation with an entirely new coaching staff, a bunch of new players. You didn't know anyone. Like, what is the challenge, or was it intimidating at all, kind of walking into such a unique situation?
Sure. I mean, it's never easy being the new guy, no matter how many years you've been playing college football. But I made it a priority for myself on day one to get to know the guys, get to know the support staff, coaches, everyone, get acquainted, not just learn their names, learn a little bit about themselves, who they are. I feel like that's really the cornerstone of really any great team, building that good camaraderie and chemistry, and being able to just, sit down and have a conversation with guys that, doesn't always have to be about football, get to know, their family, get to know what their likes are, dislikes. I think a lot of that goes a long way and showcases on the field.
What was your parents' reaction to you, deciding to come to Michigan State? Your parents' reaction with them being alums and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, they were thrilled. They tried. I mean, they were going to be happy no matter where I went. But I think being closer to home, for them to be able to come to games every Saturday, other family as well. I think it certainly means a lot to them.
How did that reach out process begin in the portal? Was it you reaching out to the staff? Was it them reaching out to you? And I guess, as you went through it with the new staff, how much did you maybe pay attention to the roster?
Yeah, so I just try to find what would be the best fit for me. Obviously, with the new staff coming in right around the time that I entered the portal, we got in contact. I think a week or so afterwards. Got to talk with Coach M a little bit, get to know about him, his staff, kind of his coaching style on the offensive line. And really just getting to know the staff. I mean, these are some great coaches that I've had the honor of being around these last couple of weeks. Very thrilled to be around them, learning from them, and I would say we just kept building that relationship over the course of a month. And then, by the time I took my official visit here, I was in love with this place, and I didn't want to see myself going anywhere else.
Did you try to get here in the spring, or was it finishing up stuff at Holy Cross at that point? Or?
Yeah, I thought it would be very important to finish up my degree. I knew that missing spring ball would, benefit me in a lot of ways. Obviously, it's good to have that conditioning aspect of it. Muscle memory. Having an 8-month period of not playing football. obviously, get a little rusty as I saw these first couple days of camp, but I think that's where experience plays in as well in a big time way, where you're able to pick things up a little faster, and really just that attentive and focus throughout this camp has really gotten me to a place where I feel good with with where I'm at.
Going off
Obviously,
that a
you
little
excelled
bit.
before. Can you tell you're at a different level?
Certainly, yeah. I mean, there are definitely some guys in the FCS that were, be a very big challenge for me. And obviously, the Big Ten, this is where all the talent really is. I mean, this is the best conference in college football, in my opinion. And it's certainly been a challenge going against these guys every day, but they've been making me a whole lot better, and I hope I've been doing the same for them.
How have they made you better?
Certainly we got some terrific defensive linemen here. Maverick Hansen, obviously a 6-year guy. He's been really pushing me to become a better player. Daquan Dowse, he's also been very fun to go against in practice. It's really just iron sharpening iron every day, and I just feel like with their experience and what they've seen here in college football, playing at this level for so long, I think it's really a good, thing to do, throughout this camp and get ready for the season.
Did you have any doubts coming in, Luke? Because you don't just go FCS to FBS, but then to the highest level, of FBS. Did you have any doubts about whether you could do it? And was there a moment where you're like, I can't do this, on the field when things click, you're like, all right, I can do it at this level, that type of stuff,
Yeah, no, I was very confident in my abilities, coming out of Holy Cross where, you're not facing Big Ten competition every day, but I believed in myself. I know that I've been able to do it against higher competition in some of the FBS games that we played at Holy Cross, and really just taking it day by day. Obviously, it's more repetitive with the amount of skill level that you're going against every day, whereas at Holy Cross, play 1 or 2 FBS teams a year. So it's certainly a big grind day in and day out, but no, I don't think there was really ever a doubt. I was very confident in my abilities, and obviously still a lot of work to do, but confidence is not an issue.
3 weeks in, though, you're in the mix now. Do you feel, I guess, are you happy with your decision? Do you feel like you made the right call, not only coming here, but also making that jump up and everything, now that you've been around it for 3.5 weeks or whatever it's been?
Yeah, I'm very happy with my decision. This, as I said, this coaching staff, really with the experience and camaraderie they have together as a unit, has been very easy for this transition that I've had here at Michigan State. Obviously it's been very challenging. We're learning a new position, a new playbook, all that comes with it. But I came here for a challenge, and I think that's exactly what I'm getting here. 3 weeks into camp, and it's really fun to go in day out and push myself and become a better player.
Why Holy Cross and not one of the other FBS schools in state?
So really, it was just Holy Cross and Lafayette that were my only offers coming out of high school. And I definitely took a risk going out east. The stuff going away from Michigan. Being in Massachusetts, East Coast, all very new. But I'd certainly say it's paid off very well for me, and I'm very happy with that decision.
Was
are
the
the
dream to
technical
always get back
differences?
here when you were there? Was it like someday I'd love to be back there?
Certainly, I think it crossed my mind once or twice, but while I was out there, I was very happy with it. With the COVID year, it was kind of a weird time where I finished my 4 years there, and I had the option to come back to Holy Cross for a 5th year. But at the end of the day, I asked myself, what's going to make me a better player? I'd love to be able to showcase a little interior, learn some new stuff from other coaches, and really, it's all just about the challenge of coming to Michigan State playing Big Ten football. That was really appealing to me, and I knew that was going to benefit myself here in the long run.
What's the biggest stadium you played in with Holy Cross?
Probably have to be Boston College. Very excited to be back there 4th week, I believe that is. Very much looking forward to that game.
What are the biggest, just technical, like you said, you played left tackle for 4 years there. Now you're in, guard center. I guess just what's the physical challenges and differences you approach the position?
Sure, yeah. So, you see it a lot in the run game and the pass pro. As a left tackle, obviously, I'd be, facing against defensive ends most of the time in run game. Significantly lighter guys and who would be on the D line. And in the pass game as well, guard is a lot faster. Guys kind of get in your face, so a little more than what you do at tackle. So it's all been a little bit of a learning curve, as is with learning any new position really. I mean, it goes back to saying I came here for a challenge, obviously, and yeah, it's been a little tough at first, right? But 3 weeks in, I feel like I'm making good progress, and
Is it a little weird? Like, you know more about this place than guys that have been on the team, the guys that were here in spring. Are you you're the new guy from the summer, but you obviously have a background. You kind of find yourself in that odd position of being a new guy who's providing like the history lesson about the program, and oh no, this is a good place to go eat or hang out or something like that.
I haven't been given too many history lessons. Being out of touch out of Michigan for the last 4 years, I kind of forget like what are the good food spots and around here. But as I've been up here living up here this summer, I kind of remind myself like, oh yeah, wait, I've been to that place a couple times, been here. I haven't been doing too much history lessons in regards to East Lansing in general or the program's history, but if anyone asks, I'm sure I could maybe give some information.
What type of asset has Tanner been for you guys' room with his experience in the system?
Oh yeah, Tanner's been terrific. I mean, he's been teaching me a lot about, from a player's perspective, how to run this offense, and as an interior guy as well. Tanner playing guard last year. He's been very, very helpful, giving me some tips. Always like some tricks to kind of use on the inside, and when you're blocking defensive linemen, whether it be in run or pass game. But yeah, certainly I think Tanner's been very helpful throughout this transition here at Michigan State.
With your journey, how can you maybe pass along your lessons to younger kids in the high school ranks around here, who maybe don't necessarily fit that mold but feel they can get to that point?
Yeah, sorry, talking about
your journey. I mean, you go.
Oh yeah.
You don't have an FBS offer, but you still get there by taking your own path. I guess what does that say to younger kids?
Yeah, I think that goes along with just being patient, right? Obviously you come here as a freshman, you don't know the playbook, you're trying to meet everyone here on the team as well as is any new guy. I told them to take it day by day, right? I mean, it's easy to get a little flustered when you're at a place such as this, big storied history, Big Ten football. It's a lot, for an 18, 19-year-old kid to handle at times. And I've been in those shoes before, even at Holy Cross, where even it's a smaller school, right? It's still college football. Like you've made it. You're a Division I player, but guys around you are Division I players too. And the stuff that you do in high school isn't going to necessarily work out here. You got to hammer a lot more technique, fundamentals. Take training in the weight room very seriously. Your nutrition, all that. It's.
Would you recommend that path to a high school kid who maybe their options are going to an FCS school versus maybe being a walk-on somewhere, like at a Central or an Eastern?
Yeah, certainly. I think it's always great to be like, a need to a program rather than a want, right? And that's what I felt with Holy Cross. I felt like they were going to give me the tools to develop, individually as a player as well. But looking at the staff here as well, I think that it'd be a great risk to come here as well, taking a step at a bigger level. But this is a program and coaching staff that cares about each and every person on the offensive line, right? Like everyone's going to get coaching points, everyone's going to get reps. We're going to see like what everyone here is made out of, and
5 or 6 years later, how does it feel to be both a need and a want for this program?
It certainly feels special, right? To be wearing the green and white has been a dream of a lifetime for me, and yeah, really, it's just something that makes this whole journey, coming here a whole lot special.
What are you most looking forward to about this experience now? You're on this level, you're playing in the Big Ten. What are you most looking forward to once it starts getting real here in a couple weeks?
I'm certainly excited to face some of the Big Ten level competition that we have coming this fall. I mean, it's a very rigorous schedule. There's no question about that, and I'm really excited to see what this team and what we're made out of. Not only just from an individual perspective for me, but we're going to see what this team is made out of.
Do you remember the first time you were in Spartan Stadium or any game you saw there that stood out to you?
Man, it must have been 15 some years ago. I think I remember Javon Ringer's touchdown against Michigan. Must have been like 15 some years ago or something. But seeing him in the building is kind of like, man, I'm getting old. But yeah, I think that was probably one of the first memories I've had here.
Did you say Holy Cross and what was the other FCS offer?
Lafayette.
Louisiana Lafayette? Or?
Oh no, Lafayette in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not the Pennsylvania background.
The decision to transition from primarily tackle to primarily guard, was that you mainly bringing it up to the coaches, or is that coaching staff kind of approaching you and telling you they see you fit in a guard a little bit?
I think it was very mutual. You know, I always envisioned myself being an interior guy, even at Holy Cross. When they decided to keep me out at tackle, you know, obviously no complaints about that. It was a position I was used to, accustomed to. But making this decision to come here, you know, I figured that at this level, I'd be playing more center guard, more on the interior, and yeah, it's very excited to be learning a new position. Really, there's certainly a lot of ways that guard is different than tackle, and not ways that I expected, but also, you know, a lot of similarities that I also didn't expect. So it's really just a learning process for me. But you know, 3 weeks in, I'd say I learned a whole lot, and you know, a lot more work to do.
What didn't you expect?
Yeah, I'd say that in pass pro, you know, when you're going against an interior guy, how that's a lot more faster matchup, getting hands on. Whereas as a tackle, you know, you're taking, you know, 2 sets, waiting for the D lineman to make a move. Whereas, you know, in the interior, it's a lot more, you know, a lot more now, right?
It's a ways off, but what will going to Michigan on this roster in green and white mean to you?
Sorry, say that again.
Going to the Michigan game in the big house to play, what will that mean to you?
I mean, that's going to be a phenomenal environment, obviously, to be able to experience and play in. And, you know, it's a very storied rivalry, and I'm very excited to be a part of it this fall.
Thank you.